Sarah Rummel. When a young girl from Cahir called Sarah Hetherington became Sarah Rummel, her life was to change dramatically. Sarah was born in Cahir Abbey Lower in 1900, the youngest of 14 children. Her school days were spent in Cahir, and by 1921 she was living in Islington in London. Her life was about to change when, in 1925, she married Walter Rummel. Who was he? Walter Rummel was one of the great pianists of the 20th century. His name is not generally known today because he left so few recordings, but he performed works by some of the great musicians and composers, people like Debussy, Chopin, and others. Walter was born in Germany in 1887, and his mother was Cornelia Morse, daughter of Samuel Morse of Morse code fame. Hence the name Morse as Walter's middle name. In 1925, the handsome Walter married Sarah Hetherington, and for some reason he called her Patricia. And such was his love for her that in 1923, Walter penned music to the poetry of William Blake, with the following dedication: for John McCormick to sing, for Patricia to dream, for the Irish mothers to remember. A few years after he married Sarah, he fell in love again, this time with the Russian poetess. So he divorced Sarah in 1930. But while Walter was married to Sarah, because Walter was friendly with William Butler Yeats and his wife George, he and Sarah visited the Yeatses in Dublin. An account of their visit is given in a book called Becoming George, and according to this, Walter shared Yeats's interest in the occult and seances. The happy ever after situation between Walter and Sarah did not last long, and Sarah did not return to live permanently in Cahir until the 1950s, even though she did visit relatives in the town in the intervening years. Her house in Abbey Street was divided into apartments, and she herself lived in a downstairs apartment. Her tenants remember her as a strict landlady, insisting on early bedtimes and low noise levels, but she was also compassionate if they were sick or that. She was a familiar figure in the town with her cultured manner and flamboyant attire. She became involved with Cahir Dramatic Society and also acted with this very successful local drama group. She co-authored a play called The Dream of Annalon, and she also wrote poetry, and these poems were published in newspapers and periodicals. Her poetry is very lyrical, and one poem in particular about the death of a young boy has a particular poignancy. Sarah died in 1977, and the lines on her headstone are taken from Hymn à l'amour, written and sung by the singer Edith Piaf. It's quite possible that Sarah would have met Piaf during her time with Walter. And these lines are: we will have for our eternity, in the blue of all immensity, in the sky no more problems. God reunites those who love him.